It's time to solve the problem with the cover of my Teabag Birds junk journal that is obviously way too small for this project. Hi there, this is Luise Heinzel. Welcome to my channel Junk Journal Art. Nice to see you here. Yeah, so today I decided that I want to have a cover around my Teabag Birds junk journal that until now is only this 6 signatures. So I have finished the embellishments of this journal so that I know how thick this journal will be in the end. So as you can see, it's really thick. And yeah, when I decided to use this cover here for this journal, so that was of course in the very beginning of this process, I didn't know how thick this whole thing will become. And I knew that it will be thicker than this journal here. So I mean thicker than the original spine of this book. But I wanted to have this cover here, so I thought this would be really beautiful for this project. I love this green, and I also have some of this green in the journal, and I was sure that I wanted to use this cover. So now I have the problem that the spine has to be much wider than it is here, because as you can see, when I put it like this, it is much too thick. What I'm doing today is something that I never did before, so I have to say that because perhaps there will be some things that will come out a little bit different, or things that I have to find a solution for, so please have this in mind when you watch this video. I never did that before. What is in my mind, and I hope that it will work. So let's try it. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to have a second cover, so I mean a second material that has the same size and the same thickness than the cover that I have here. So I found this broken cover here in my stash. That's also a normal cover from a hardcover book, and as you can see, it's not intact anymore, so I decided that I can use this. So the next thing that I want to do is, and I saw that on an American junk journal channel, and I don't know which one it was, so I can't remember. So if I find the original tutorial, I will link that down below, but I think I have no chance to find that anymore because I have no idea when I watched this video or who it was. So please excuse if you see this video that I don't mention you, but I can't remember. So the person in that tutorial made it like this. She lined it up with her cutting mat, and then okay, so now here we have 3 centimeters. I can see the spine is here and here, so that's the original measurements of the spine, and on the bottom as well. So I can cut this exactly in the middle of this spine in a straight line, hopefully. And now I take this sharp knife here and try to cut this here without any accidents. Okay, so that seemed to be successful. Okay, so then we have this, and now the plan is to glue something of this piece here from the other side in between here. So the first thing that I now have to do is I have to find out how wide the spine has to be for my journal. And that, I think, is not so easy, because I think I can't do it like I would do it normally, because I can see that some of the signatures are thicker than the others. So perhaps you can see that. Normally I would take it like this, and then I would decide if I want to have a half centimeter or a centimeter in between of the signatures. But here you can see it's not such regular, so here and here the space is a little bit more than between the other signatures, even if I have the same amount of pages in every signature. So that's a little bit difficult to see it like this. But the other thing that you can do is you can take this staple of signatures. No, I think staple is the wrong word, but I don't know the right word. Put it here to the cover, and then take this other part here, put it on top like it would be in the end, like this. So I don't press, because then when I press, this here is of course not as much as when I leave it like it is, and I don't want to have an alligator mouth later, so I lay it like it wants to be, and then I try to measure it like this. So yeah, I just take my ruler, and now I have to move this whole thing to the end of my table, because the ruler here on the end has no measurements. So I will turn off the camera for a second, find the right measurements, and then I will be back. Okay, so I just found out that I will need 6 centimeters. Okay, so then I will need 6 centimeter of this thing here that I can put into this book later. So I think I will measure that from the other side, because that's much easier, because there's no pattern on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 centimeters. And then with really much patience you have to cut this here. So I don't press too hard, but I go over this thing here several times. Of course, this is really thick, and I don't want to move my ruler by pressing too much, so I go over this here several times until I'm totally through this thing. So that takes a little time. Whew. Okay, so now we have this, and that seems to be really exact, I think. So let's see if this is 6 centimeter. Yes, here it is, and here as well. Okay, so then we can take this thing, and I will just remove this loose parts here of this original book, so that I can glue the other thing there without any problems. Okay, so now first, I think that's better. First I will glue this here to the inside, so that it is in its original position like this, so that I don't get the thickness of the new thing here in between of this little flippy thing. Like this. Okay. That feels much better. You can't see that, but it feels much better. Okay, and then I think we can glue this here. And now I'm orientating myself here to this line, because I know that this was the original position of this what I removed before. So this was the original spine, the inside of the spine, and I know that this line here is my guide to glue this thing now. And then I can make sure that the book can be opened and closed later really easily when I have this original slot here in between of the front cover and the spine. Let's just remove this here so that we don't glue this part to our mat and to the table. Okay, so like this, I think. and I just make sure that I have the same distance here, so that I am in one line with this part here and this. That seems to work really easily. I'm a little bit surprised. Okay, so then for my own nerves, I will just measure if we have the same space here and here, and that's half of a centimeter now. And then just glue these little things here first, and then the rest. Let's try, carefully try if this will work when we put it in here. Yes, I think that will work really well. So yeah, from this camera angle I think you can't see that such good, but I will show you in a second. I don't care about these things here because, yeah, so perhaps you are wondering why the pages are coming out here. I said that in the very beginning of this tutorial series, but perhaps you are new here, so I just want to give you a quick imagination why I did this. So I love this cover. I wanted to have this cover on this book. And I realized that my DIN A5 pages can go into it without any problems and without any pages peeking out on the top and the bottom. And then I realized that I have only this small amount of pages, of paper here that are coming out here. And I decided that I want to try to do this really extremely. So I wanted to have this here peeking out to the sides. And I also have this sari silk here that's peeking out here, and I'm planning to do more of those little, yeah, some kind of page tabs that are coming out here, so that this is the style of the journal later. I want to have the style that this is coming out of the original book cover, so that you can see on the first glance that this is a junk journal and not a normal book. If I would cut the pages here and they will go, yeah, a few millimeters into the book, then this will be not such an effect like I have it here now. And I also perhaps want to add some kind of paper ruffles here on the edges of the paper, but I'm not sure about this until now. So I first wanted to have the cover in this dimension with the right size of the spine, and then decide how I can make this outcoming paper effect more extremely. So that was the plan. So when you now look at this, I think that can work. With 6 centimeters of the spine and 6 signatures, I will have 1 centimeter in between of each signature. And I'm not sure if I like that. Normally I would do a half centimeter in between of each signature to make this work. And I will just turn off the camera, let this dry completely, and think about making the signatures smaller, so I mean less pages per signature, so that I can have more signatures and only a half centimeter in between of each signature, because I don't like this optic here until now. It's for my personal preference, it's too less signatures for too much spine. That's my problem at the moment. Okay, so you don't have to wait long. I will let this dry and think about it, and then I will be back. Okay, so there are definitely things in this world that you don't realize when your camera is recording. So after a piece of this chocolate, I realized that I don't have enough of this yellow sari silk in my stash to make this plan to have more of these page tabs. I don't have any of this, so I have small pieces of this left, but not enough to make more of those page tabs as I planned. So in this overloaded way that it makes sense that the pages come out here of this side of the book. So I tried to find another solution, but I'm not happy with this anymore. So as I said, this video can be some kind of chaotic, some kind of mind-changing stuff as well. So I just decided to enlarge this part of the cover as well. But before I show you how I do this, and before I do it, I'm really nervous, I will show you what I did with the signatures. So as you now can see, I have divided my 6 signatures into 11 signatures. And this seems to be much more suitable for this. It's more harmonical, I think. So of course the signatures are not sewn in at the moment, but you can imagine how they will be in the journal later. And I think this space between the signatures, that's approximately 1/2 centimeter, that's much nicer than it was before. So I had 6 signatures before, and now I have 11. So that means I took every signature and divided it into 2. So then I had 12. That's one too much. And then I made my little trick. So I don't know if I talked about that before, but that's my personal trick, and it's, yeah, some kind of a secret what I'm telling you now. So perhaps you do it the same. Then you have the same trick like me. But I never saw a YouTube tutorial or a person that did this trick before. So let me tell you. When I have my signatures here, and I divided my original signatures that I made before into 2, and then I have 1 left, I make this trick. I take my finger like this, and that's my measuring tool now for the thickness of each signature. So I make it like this. I go into here and I press the signature approximately here, because here is, yeah, nearly the thickest part of the end of the signature. So I have, yeah, I think the first part here of my finger until here is grabbing the signature, and I can feel the thickness. And then I go through each signature, put my finger here in between, and my feeling tells me which signature is thicker and which is thinner. So now I can feel that this signature here is much thicker than the others. When I hold my signatures like this, I also can see that. When you look from it to it from the top, you can see that this signature is doing something else than the others. So if I would take this out and hold my signatures like this, the end here seems to be really regular. But when I put this into here, where it was, you hopefully can see that this is not the case anymore. So here it's much thicker, and I also can feel that. So I take this out. I try to remember where it was. So here after this yellow and green paper. And then I do this trick again. I go here with my fingers, and I can feel this is nearly the same like this, and like this, and like this. And I go on until I can find a signature that's thinner. And this first signature is really thin in comparison to the others. So I take the thickest one where I can feel there's something too much in it. And then I search for a page that I can remove. So here I can't remove anything because this and this belongs together because of the pattern. As you can see, this splash is going over this page and this page, so I have to let them here. This is really thin, so it would make not such much sense to take it out, but perhaps, yeah, this middle one here, perhaps we can try to take that out. Yeah, now that feels much better. So let's put this into here where it was before, and now you can see this problem is solved. Can you see that? That now this spaces here in between are nearly regular, and yeah, that's the trick. And now this thin signature can perhaps hold this page that we have left over here, and you can see why this is so thin, because here's really thin paper. This is only a half page. This music paper is really thin as well, and here are, you know, some scrappy things. So that's perhaps the reason why this is such thin. And now I want to decide where I perhaps can put this. So perhaps here, I think that would look nice, like this. And perhaps we can change the order of this both now, so that we don't have this brown paper next to each other. So we can make it like this, and I think that's much better. And now this signature is thicker than before, but not thicker than the other signatures. And when I do it like this, you can see that the spaces here are really regular. Then I can go here and grab my signatures again, and I can feel that every signature is nearly the same thickness, and that's, I think, really, really helpful. So I hope that it can help you as well. Okay, so now I have my 11 signatures here. That's fine. Let's close it and look to it like this, and I think that can work really, really well. And now I have to take another chocolate here, so the plan is to cut the cover here and on the back side as well, and then take a piece of this and put it in between, like we did it on the spine as well. But I have no idea how thick this piece has to be. So I want to have this being here in the end. So I think we can first cut this here and on the back side as well, and then decide how thick this other piece has to be. Oh my goodness. I don't want to make jokes about praying, but please pray for me now that this will work. Okay, so I line it up here. And now I think this is the middle. 1, 2, 3 and a little bit. 1, 2, 3 and 3 of these dots is here. Yeah, so that has to be the middle. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what can happen? It can become a fail, and we have to take another cover or make something totally different. But yeah, don't be afraid, Louise. Don't be afraid. I am afraid. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Looks really interesting. Now, I think if we take this one here and put it to this side, then we can make a line where we have to cut, so that this is the same width as this other part. You know what I mean. So I line it up here and I think I will not measure it, because perhaps if the book is weird or something like that, measuring will not help. So I try to line this up really, really, really well. And then I press this and take this as my ruler. Sometimes I'm asking why I don't have a normal craft thing to do and why I am doing these weird things. Okay, so I think I can do it like this because I have this slot now. That's really hard. Okay. Okay, so now I think we can... that looks really interesting. Seriously, really interesting. Now, I think we can take this, put it into here. I'm wondering if I'm still laughing at the end of this video. I don't know. And take this, put it here so that we can decide how big this slot has to be. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh. I'm just thinking about not covering this slot, but making only something here and here so that we here can see the eye of this bird here in between of this. Oh my gosh, that could be... Is that strange? Because I know that this will be here in the end. So let me just press this to its original position, and let me just bring this here into a 90-degree angle, so that I know that this will be the exact position later. And even this looks really great. Oh my goodness. I'm seriously, I'm just thinking, why not making such a small book cover? Or like this. I need more chocolate. Okay, so if we would do it like this, it would be really hard to take this cover away. This book away. So if you want to put it into your bag or something like that, then this here will not be protected anymore. But I have never seen such crazy things before. So sorry, I just have to grab something that I can imagine how that would look. So perhaps we could also, I definitely will do that in the future, even if I will not do it today, but we could make it like this. Why not? Why not? We could make it like this and leave it. Sew the signatures in, and this is our small cover here. Why not? Okay, so here I'm back with some kind of a solution. So I thought really long about this. So there are several hours gone since the last shot of this video. So I really fall in love with the look of this, because I think we've never seen such a small journal cover before. So I have never seen that in my life. But perhaps the reason why we have never seen this is that if we would make it like this, this here would not be protected. So yeah, I changed my mind and came away from this idea to make it like this. That would be, of course, the most simple idea, so it would be really easy. We would only have to cover this inside and then sew the signatures in, and we have our journal. But I think I can't live with the fact that this is not protected. Perhaps if you would like to make such a thing with such a small cover, then you could take a much thicker piece of paper for the outside of each signature, so that this is much thicker. You could print, even if you would use a digital printable kit like this, you could print it on much thicker paper and then use this for the front and the back, or even in between, so that this whole thing would become much sturdier. But yeah, of course, I think I will try that the other day without recording with my camera, and perhaps if it is possible to do that, I will show you, but I'm not really sure. So I came to the following idea, that I want to have this bird peeking out here from the cover, but that I want to have the whole cover like it is once, like it was before. So after cutting, I made this thing here. So I just took this piece of the cover and pressed the signatures there where they will be later, so that I have the original position of this. Then I put this loose piece here to the top, and then I decided how wide this cover shall be in the end, so that the pages are totally inside of the book. And then I measured this here, this little space, and made this piece here out of the leftover of this other book cover, so that I now hopefully can take this, put this underneath here like so, and then put this on top and glue this. And this way I think it looks like the cover is divided into two pieces. So I can't lift my hands because then it will fall apart. But let me try. So this element here on the cover, this round or this oval thing, is still intact, even if this slot is here. And this brown thing and the brown here underneath my fingers looks like it belongs to this first page of the first signature, if that makes sense. If you look on it, to it like this, you wouldn't think that this is part of the cover and this thing on the bottom. And I think I like that. I think I like this idea and this optic. So I also, of course, could put this frame on top here. So of course with cutting this white line perhaps, but this way, so on the one hand, this way, the journal cover would be more dimensional. It would be, more interesting perhaps here with this frame on the front side. But I think the original cover now is not intact anymore. This green thing is totally destroyed now. And I need this surface here and here, no, not here, but here and here, so the sides, to glue that to this thing here. So I can't make it smaller, because I think then that will not be sturdy enough. So I decided to do it that way. So of course I also have the original edges here. So I have to decide if I perhaps put some really small, how is that called? Small lace, so not so wide, here around, so that we can't see this here anymore. Or I will use some sandpaper, go over here and this inside, and then perhaps distress that with some distress ink, so that we can't see this original edge anymore. And I'm just thinking about if I glue this now, Can I then decide how I have to make that on the back side? But I think yes. Okay, so I will try this, turn it this way, put the signatures out of the way, and then let's try to glue that. Okay, so this has to be like this. Oops. And try to line this up really carefully, so especially here. Okay, so I think I will take some of these guys here to get that into the right position. I think otherwise that will not work. Now my neighbor is standing at the window. Mach hier gerade ein Video. And he made some bread for me. And he just wanted to know if when I will come and take my bread. So I don't have time for coming and taking my bread, Mario. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm not sure if this will work and if this will stay there. I don't know. I don't know if I can. So perhaps like this. Oh, that's good. Like this. Like this. And like this. Hui, hui, hui. Okay, so now I think I have to let this dry because yeah, I have no chance to glue the second piece here. So I will go to my bread friend and see if his bread is delicious or not. And then I will come back and finish this. So yeah, wish me luck, please. Look at this. Ta-da! So while this was drying, I went to my friend Mario from the campsite and he gifted me this bread and this herbal butter, or how is this called? So his girlfriend made this, and this is still warm and it smells so good. It's really, really cool. So I had to tell you that. So yeah, so I will just bring the butter to my fridge and then we will see if this thing worked and if this is sturdy enough to be a junk journal cover. So see you in a second. Okay, so here we go. So let's see if this is dry enough so that we can glue the other part, but I think yeah, I think that's okay. Doesn't come off. That's good. Okay, so yeah, then we have to glue this thing here, and then we have to put the glue here, and yeah. I just am just a little bit out of my concentration because my friend first knocked to the window. I was a little bit like, whoa, what is he doing? And I just thought if it was really a good idea to place my craft table next to my window. So in this direction there's my window, and so the light is coming in here. That's normally a good thing for recording a video, of course, but I always have problems when people come along the street, this little street out there, and they see me sitting here, and of course they don't know that I'm recording a video. And they want to be friendly and yeah, want to say hi to me. Some of them saw me, didn't see me for a long time, so because of this COVID pandemic and that stuff. And of course they want to say hello, and then they think, oh, she's sitting there on her desk, and I think she's sitting at her desk and not on her desk, but you know what I mean. And then they want to say hello, and I'm always a little bit shocked when they knock to the window because yeah, I'm looking here to my project and not to the window. And sometimes that's a little bit funny as well, because yeah, they laugh at me when I have this little shock, or how is that called. And then I will just do it like this. Oh, that's a little bit tricky now, but it works. I can't press it. Oh my goodness. So now we have the problem that we have to enlarge the back cover as well, but of course I don't want to have such a second thing on the back side, so I don't want to have a hole on the back side, so it has to be like this. And then I want to cut from this thing here a piece that I can just glue here, but I think I will glue it in this way so that the brown pattern here is visible from the outside. So I think that this can look really well on the back side later. Then it will be something like this. Okay, so now I have to measure from here to here how wide this is, so that I can see how wide I have to put both things apart from each other. So let me see, this is 16 centimeter. Let me just double check if this is really, because this is really important that this is exactly now, because yeah, you know, yeah, 16 centimeters. I will just measure it here again, and yeah, that's 16. Okay. So let's place this here, and then let's see where 16 has to be. It's here. I can't see it because this ruler is a mess. Exactly there where the 16 is this little shit here, some kind of a sticker. So 16 is here, and then we have to have this here, so that the slot is 2.5. Yeah, that's the same as on the front cover. That's okay. Okay, then let's decide how to do this. I think we could measure this thing here, that's 6 centimeter, and cut the same from here. Then we have the same optic from the inside. I mean, the width of this will be the same as here. I think that's a good idea. And I'm just thinking about something that I haven't thought about before. If I glue this here, I have no chance to put, for example, a lace in between here, and I thought I would frame this from the other side, so this hole, with some kind of lace, and here I can put it into the hole to the inside and the outside, but here that's not possible when I glue this. And I'm just thinking of deciding really quickly which lace I want to use. Sorry, I'm back in a second. Whew, so here I'm back. So let's do it like this. Let's see. I will just try that out with this piece where I have no glue. So the plan is, when this is in this direction and I have this piece, then this will be like this from the outside later, and this edge is not really beautiful, and I have no chance to do anything to it if I do it not now. So perhaps I can put this here and this on top, and then later glue the lace to the other side like this. Yeah, and that's what I want to do. So let me just take this, and I will line it up here with the half of this thing, so the half of the lace, so perhaps a little bit more, even more, because I have to go around the edge later. Okay, so like this. And I think if this will work, it will be a good idea to take a really thin lace for this plan. That's not too thick, and yeah, so that you don't get any problems when you glue this thing, because when the lace is too thick, it has no, this piece of book cover has no chance to be glued here to this piece really flatly, and that would be a problem, I think. Okay, so I will just glue this piece, this piece here in the same way with the lace and that stuff, let that dry, and then I will be back. It's me again. So now we have a cup of coffee here, some leftover chocolate here, and this cover thing here. And yeah, now we can remove this stuff here and go on with this lace plan and glue the lace. So I will show you in a second. On the back side, I already tried that out. So yeah, before this thing, this lace of course was in the same direction like this, so in the same way it came out here, and then I tried out to glue it here like this, and I think that looks so great. It looks like some kind of fabric, like some kind of clothing that has this opening here, so like some kind of a jacket or something like that, that you have here, and yeah, you can see what the person is wearing under this jacket here through this thing, some kind of a window or that stuff. I really like that. Okay, so I just tried out to find the best way to glue this here, because we need glue on this little edge here now, to make sure that that can stay here. And I think the best way to do that is to try to put the glue first on this little thing, on this little line here from the cover, and then, sorry, let me just do that. So I try to do that really carefully and exactly so that the lace can't come off there. And then when we have this, we can lay it to the table like this so that we can see better what we are doing. And then we can just take the lace and make it like this. And I'm also going over this part here with my gel medium, so that I can press the lace with the brush and not with my finger. So when the brush has the gel medium on it, the lace would not glue to the brush, but it would glue to my finger if I would press with my finger. So I do it like this. And then later on I will cover this whole slot with gel medium so that it has the same optic and I don't have any problems with this glue marks on this area. So then put some of the gel medium underneath the lace so that we can glue it completely. Okay, so then I will let this dry completely and then let's go to the front cover and let's decide how we can do this here with the lace as well, perhaps. So let me just take a sip of coffee. With coffee, you can always think better than without. If we would do this here, we will get a problem with gluing the lace to the inside. So I think I will try to get a frame of the lace around here. I don't know if that will work, but I will try to manage that. Now it looks like this. So as you can see, I have glued this all around here. So so first all here to this little piece of the cardstock. So this edge of the cardstock. Hopefully you can see that. And now, of course, on the front side and also, of course, on the back side, this is a little bit here in the air, as you can see. Now we have to decide for the inside if we want to glue this here and cover that with paper, or if we want to cover the paper, or we could also use some fabric underneath this and then glue the lace here. First I thought I will cover it up, but now I think that's not such a good idea because I have to cover up this as well. So let's first do the front side, because here it's much easier to decide what to do. So as you can see, I can't press this down enough so that I can glue it flatly. So I take my scissors and now I'm cutting only here on this edge a little bit into the lace, and also here and here. And here is the end and the beginning that are coming together here, so I don't have to cut there because, yeah, it's already two pieces. And then I take my gel medium again, and now I can hopefully glue this down. Let me just show you how this will look when this is inside here. So hopefully I will not glue my signature to the cover now when I close it. So in the end it will look something like this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to sew the signatures in here. I can't tell you. We will see the next time with the inside of the cover and sewing in the signatures and making a hidden spine of this. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope we will see the next time. So hopefully you learned something new. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below the video. So I will check that and I will try my best to answer your questions. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you the next time. Bye bye.